Strawberry Girl. She's my first character. She didn't start out the way she did, but she is the first. Jeff was second. Trent later. And Wendy. Now I've tried to do me. I need to get back to me, but I'll have to solve that crime. I'm trying to remember exactly how I did it. I did get the right count, didn't I? Have I got that PS4 version? I got the PS4 version. I thought I grabbed the PS5 version. Hold on. Let's go back. I swear I saw the PS5. There it is. That's where Christine's at. She's in the PS5 version. Let's see what this stuff is. I can't see, man. Online, there we go. Now we'll be going on to Christine. Trent's on the PS4 version. Trent would have been on the PS5 version had I just signed in. I actually imported my character. From the Xbox. Anyways. Or I opted to do it. It asked me did I want to do it, and I said yes. And I signed in and I done it. Then I got to thinking. Because once it told me I was going to click no, and it clicked. And they told me once it imported it, you couldn't import it back. So I guess I don't have to change her clothes because I'd already changed them. Oh, wrong thing. Yeah, I get into the invite only session. Is that wind or birds? You can't tell right now. Right now, the birds, blades have been coming through. Sometimes they sound like rain.
Muy buenas. This is Oscar. Oscar Guzman. You don't know me, but I heard your name around and thought you'd be interested in an investment opportunity. Got a hangar out here in Blaine County up for sale. First time in a long time, and man, I'm telling you, it's got serious potential. I operate a delivery service here, if you, know what I mean. You buy the hangar, we put it back on the map. Check it out sometime, maybe, huh?
She gets in. Her nice car. Or if it's too early for this. I don't remember. I want to bang her car up. I need to remember where I park it. There we go. Remember where I park it. If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, I don't want to go. If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, I just as soon stay home. If they don't got the Grand Ole Opry, like they do down in Tennessee, you can send me to hell in New York City. Be about the same to me. Unfortunately, though, the jungle come to us. Dalton used to be a little quiet town, and they turned it into an old jungle. I didn't have to go. I didn't do like Axl Rose. That's where I different. He had to go to the jungle. The fucking jungle came to me. If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, I don't wanna go. Ah, the truck's gone, but then that thing looks like it'd be like the Batmobile or something.
Come check out the
If
new
heaven ain't
vehicle
a
from
lot
Podium.
like
You can spin it
Dixie,
with
nah, we
just
still
a
got
spin
5 hours.
lucky wheel.
It ain't got the Grand Ole Opry like the dude down in Tennessee. Of course, now I'm gonna tell you something about Nashville. Nashville's a worser hell than Dalton ever be. And it always was. It was a hell in the 80s. 'Cause I'd hear teachers coming talking about it. It's worse now. I've heard it's worse. If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, I don't want to go. And I love Nashville. We walked those streets many a times going to those bars, watching Hinder and all those bands. But now it's a bad place to be. It's like the joint, it's a bad place to be. You remember when Merle Haggard sung about when I remember when joints were a bad place to be? Where's her car? Is that it? I ain't got the wrong car to it. Yeah, it's hers. If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, I don't wanna go. If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, boy, it's hard to believe that's been as long as it has been now. Though we're talking about getting up to nearly 20 years. In 2007, that's going to be 27. That's going to be 20 years. Was going to all those concerts. I never dreamed that'd be 20 years. My father was still here. He was the guy that had to push me in the wheelchair. If heaven ain't until we got the electric one, then he had to help get it off the truck. That damn thing, that fucking thing was heavy. If heaven ain't a lot, it took about 2 or 3 people to deal with it. Usually me, my mom, and my dad, or whoever. If I wasn't able to deal with it, somebody else had to. Sometimes I wasn't able. My body breaks down on me. If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, I don't wanna go. If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, I guess as soon stay home. If I don't have the Grand Ole Opry, like the dude down in Tennessee. Because I want to tell you, Dalton's gotten bad, but it ain't as bad as some places. It's just overridden with illegals. But now we don't have a lot of the stuff to a lot of these, unless they cover it up. And I wouldn't put it past that. Because the media, the police departments, they are all influenced by the people that smuggled them here. And I'm talking about them carpet mills. I left that comment the other day. It still don't exonerate them from that human smuggling that they've done. All the good they do. They were also they also paid for that school I went to all those years ago. That still doesn't exonerate them. They smuggled all these damn people here for cheap labor because they didn't want to hire. They didn't want to hire Americans to do the jobs. That's exactly what they did. They put a spin on it when he talked to CNN. He talked to CNN. My daddy saw it, by the way. He saw the smuggling. He saw the buses that Joe Biggs and them filmed in 15 down at the border. My father saw him. Like he would work. I told y'all my father, he'd sometimes work 3 shifts. Because if his help didn't show up, he had to take their place. He wasn't like most bosses and went home at 5 p.m. He sometimes worked 3 shifts at a time. And he would work those late nights. And one day in 2008 or 9, I believe, I can't tell you, remember this act. He got on the porch and he told me this one evening. Me and him sometimes sat on the porch and we talked some. And he said, well, I actually seen them bringing them across with the suitcases, son. This is long before Alex Jones filmed it in 15. He said, I actually seen them getting off the trucks. And I said, well, why didn't you report it to somebody? My mama, she got mad when she found out about it. And I finally, he said, well, son, who would I reported it to? And I looked at him and I said, well, You're either talking about either Bill Clinton or George H.W. Bush, the guy that was doing it. So I guess you're right, Daddy. Maybe you wouldn't have had nobody to report it to. That's what I told him. Me and my mama, we'd been running our mouth. If we'd seen it, we'd said something. If we seen something, we'd say something. That's just the way we are. I'm even worse than her. I run my mouth about everything. How you doing, Holmes? Now let's go back and get the cab. I just wanted to take a little bit of a ride in her car because you know she's just right across the street. That's kind of just taking a little mini drive before I get into the cab. They are all bought off by the same individual, and they always make sure when they elect anybody in that city down there, it's always people that work with them. They're always the ones that run. And they're the very ones that did it to this town. I don't care what a Twitch lets me talking this night. I'm going to talk it anyway. If you get banned, I get banned. I mean, that ain't right. That wasn't right. That wasn't right to not hire American citizens. Because they wanted to pay them cheaper. Being as ugly as illegal, if you really think about it. They're paying them less. The only thing is they didn't care. A job was a job to them. And that ain't right. I don't care what kind of spin you put on it. I don't care what kind of spin. They were hurting America when they did that. That wasn't America first. My daddy even found out about them giving them better loans than everybody else for their businesses. So, you know, some of them got 4 or 5 different businesses. You want to know why they can do that? They could easily pay them off. He found out about that too. If you don't got the Grand Ole Opry, like to do down in Tennessee, you send me to hell in New York City. Be about the same. I feel that way about Dalton now. I feel like it's hell. I always like it when I get away from it. If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, I don't want to go. If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, I just as soon stay home. Unfortunately, I don't want to be at home. I want to be away from home. If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie. I'm gonna park over here, buddy. What's she got? Oh yeah, that's where it was at. I forgot. That's where it sells that. If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, I don't wanna go. Infowars.com/band.video. I got where I plug it outside every day when I go out. I recorded a little segment yesterday. I forgot to put it up. I'm gonna put it as soon as I can. If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, I don't wanna go. By the way, I found my spot. I've been doing it wrong all these years. There's this one spot where it bounces off the road and the mountain. I don't even need a bullhorn. All I do is yell through that one spot. It bounces off those buildings, off the mountain, and it carries. I found my spot. Next time when I do protests or anything, it's private property. They can't tell me what I can do on my property. And if I'm not using a sound amplification, they won't be able to do nothing at all. I found my place where I'm going to yell from now. And then I'm thinking about setting up down there. I should be able to walk. I should be able to walk here. I'm going to start setting my table up down in that area when I go out. I walked down to it yesterday when I was out. That's going to be the perfect spot. Plus, I can do some sessions if I want to. If heaven, I'll wait till a busy time at the traffic when the traffic's busy. If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, I'm sort of like the paper boy, where I'm going Infowars.com, Infowars.com. If heaven ain't a lot like, I'm sure people think it's crazy. I don't give a fuck. Let them think what they want to. That's what Paul Revere did. He rode up and down the road screaming, "The British are coming!" I'm sure people thought he was crazy too. Our world, our country is under attack. If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, I don't want to go. And the reason I stick with Infowars, they're the most truthful of the truthful. Now, they may They may not always get it right either, but he's at least trying. These others, them cucks do whatever they're told. If heaven ain't a lot like this, why do you think they attack him so much? That's the reason they attack him. He's been right most of the time. You know, the only times he's ever really been wrong was when they would get up there and he'd say, nuclear war is coming, but you never know. You never know. His Paul Revere yelling on TV might have spared us what was coming. Because he was the Paul Revere that got on his, not his horse, but his outlet. And warned you it was coming. Where those others, they just got there and talk the normal junk. They especially love obsessing over those celebrities that don't really mean a damn thing. Now, yeah, I was sort of covering the Marilyn Manson thing. But you know, they're falsely accusing him. I'm going to tell you why. It ain't what you think it is. It ain't Satan. It ain't none of it. You ever study his lyrics? He's been telling you things too. He just did it in songs. But he'd often also say on TV, like, well, if you do such and such, you'll be like Lennon. You know what I'm saying? So what he did, he just hid it well. He hid it within his lyrics. I know because I've been listening to him since the beginning. I mean, I was there when he took off. I wasn't there when he was in the beginning, like when he was 94, and 90, the early 90s, which I really love that period, by the way. I love the period of Marilyn, the Childish Manson. The Childish Manson. The one that was the crazy little drawings and especially the 90 era. I love that 1989 and 90 era. Songs like -3 and stuff like that. Songs like -3. That era. I love that Manson era. I wasn't a part of that. I discovered that in 97 when we started buying the bootleg demos. From him. Did I get that person? Yes, I did. I got to find a way to get to him. Where's the yellow line? Oh, I see it. It's back here. So I'm days the sun is blinding me. If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, I don't want to go. I never forget my father. He was watching him on the evening news every night. When we told him we was going to see him, he said in his brain, he said, oh boy, I'm finally going to get to see that devil man I've been looking for all my existence. He was wanting to meet a bad person. And this is his tale. I kid y'all not. I wish I'd told his spider this. You know, it was quick and it was nice that day. I would really wish I'd told Manson Spider this. He'd probably loved it. He was looking for his bad. Oh yeah, he got talking to my mama, so I just let him talk to her. He really liked talking to my mama. But he said, I was hearing him on the news and he was a really bad dude. I mean, there's holding signs for him and everything. And I get there. And he's a freaky looking Merle Haggard on stage. He said, there wasn't no difference to that concert than when I went to see Merle Haggard when I was a young boy. That's what my daddy said. And when people would start about him being bad, he'd go, bullshit. Bullshit. He said, I had worked 3 shifts and I felt so cut from a Manson I went to sleep. He did. He's laying back there. I looked back there one time. He's laying back there with his arms up. I didn't know what his brain was thinking. That's what he was thinking. He thought he was finally going to get to meet that bad man that he'd been looking for his whole life. I'm telling you, my daddy'd search high and low for bad people. Most of them are cowards in the room with their legs between their legs. He tried, and he always said, he told me when he was dying, that's that last time I got to actually really talk to him. He said, well, son, I never got to fight that army man or that CIA agent I always wanted to fight with. That's what he said to me. He said, I never got to fight him. I never got to meet him. He said, I always wanted to meet one. So I always say they're such badasses. He always likes seeing people flinch. He had this kick. That ain't me, y'all. I'm not talking about me here. I'm talking about my father. He liked making big men run. He usually could do it. But he always said, but I always had my backup just in case. Yeah, he had this thing about making big men curl, because he had done it before. One time these old big bullies was bothering him in some place. I'm telling off memory here, so I may not have it exactly accurate. But he grabbed the guy. He was one of those big muscular, one of his like wrestlers. He's big and muscular. He grabbed him by his hand, and he told me exactly where he grabbed him. He said, "You grab a man by that, you can bring any man down, big, small, you name it. You can bring him down." He told me that. And he grabbed him. He said he had him crying. He had cried like a little bitch. My daddy liked bringing big people down. That's what he liked doing. It kind of raised me to not have no fear, because he used to tell me, "Son, the bigger heart, the harder to fall." And the thing about this, I ain't tough like my daddy. He was really tough. I would only want to be like him. But no, I enjoyed every bit of it.
God bless you and thank you.
I used to enjoy every bit of watching him do that. And he done it several times in front of me. He liked taking on them old mean-looking biker dudes, too. Those are the ones he really liked taking on. You know, they always walk around like they're so tough. Where's that green line? Yeah, he liked taking on bad dudes. When he thought he was getting to see Marilyn Manson, he said, "I normally wasn't excited to see rock concerts." He said, "I was waiting to see him. Because I was hearing about him on my evening news every night." Yeah, his daddy would have probably loved that story. Because I was telling him I didn't think he was as bad as they said he was. But like I said, he was enjoying talking to my mom. So I just let him talk to her. I'm not really good at doing talk anyway. I'm kind of antisocial, and I don't say that in a bad way. Like, I'm not one of these old pricks out there just trying to start trouble. I just keep away from people. Always did. I was the type to find the back of the classroom. I'm not a talkative person. I talk, but I'm not a talkative person. In other words, I don't have to be. In other words, I kind of shy away from it. Now, once you get me started, I can talk all night, but you have to get it started.
Let's get this chariot in motion.
That's what I mean. Okay, now which way do we go? We gotta turn around. Yeah, he was always trying to find the toughies. That's what he spent his life doing. I don't know what his thing was with that. Give me just a second. Yeah, I never understood his thing about that. I don't know what that mattered to him. Oh yeah, he was bullied around. He probably got a kick out of it. It's probably his way of taking on bullies. Indeed, I think that's why I turned out big like I did. I think he feared his son being little. Because I'm telling you, I blew up, man. I blew up in second grade.
Hey, you ain't down, homie. Get the fuck out my
I went to first grade, I was a little short thing. And then by his second grade, I was 5'9". Yeah, he always liked meeting those toughies. Those are the ones he liked to take on. The tough ones. Of course, there might have been a reason he didn't find no Army man or even CIA man. You want to know something about those people? I'm going to tell you a secret about that. It's like Alex Jones always talks about. They've seen war. They've seen real. In other words, they're not out here just trying to be a tough guy. They've seen it. I think that's why he never found them. I don't have to get out here and be a tough guy. I don't need her because I saw my fighter. I never tried to be a tough guy either. I just don't take people's bullshit. I just watch, anytime I wanted to see a tough guy, I just watched my fighter. And now, anytime I want to think of a tough guy, I just think of him. I don't have to prove myself to be a man. I've never tried. Because my fighter did it. And I seen it. And I seen it many a times.
What's up? Hey, buddy.
Sometimes he'd even get tough with me after I grew up. But I'd tell him, I'd say, your stuff ain't going to work on me. That's what I'd tell him. Because I know you ain't going to hurt me. Plus, I grew up watching him all those years.
Hey, man, what's up? Hello?
But I was his kid. I knew he wasn't going to do nothing. I wasn't stupid. He didn't care about them other fuckers. He could have probably took them home. I thought about grown man. You know how fathers and sons are. That's the way the fathers and sons are. Sometimes they don't always get along.
I'm not worried about my heart.
But now I'm going to tell you, you better respect your parents while they're there. That's what I was saying the other day. Because you're going to miss them when they're gone.
Yeah, what's cracking?
And if it's just little petty things, work that out. I'm not going to tell you about bad things. Because bad things is between you and yourself. And whether you think you would need it or not. Because there's some situations that are really, really bad.
My new website covers all 3 of my careers.
Now, there's a lot of people like telling people what to do with their lives. I'm not one of those. I never tell people what to do with their lives. If it goes against the Bible, I'll say something about that. But I mean, it's written in the Bible. I mean, but I can't put my stamp of approval on something. That goes for me. I can't put, y'all hear me cussing about my cussing all the time. I can't put a good stamp of approval on cussing because it's not right. He says, bridle that tongue, son.
I haven't talked to you in ages.
Where's this person at? I see it blinking. Is it over here? Let's ride around. Fade away. Fade away. Fade away. You know, I love that bright. You know, over there on that, no, it's on the other side. You know that big bright blotchy spot that's in San Andreas? My eyes don't miss that. But it misses these markers in this game. I just gotta drive in there. Let's just go ahead and see if we can drive in. Find somewhere to drive in.
I've got to give you the number of that headshot guy.
It's oh there.
God bless you and thank you.
I finally seen it. Well, she's earned 43 today.
There's a job near you right now.
Hey, you my dude, right?
Oh, I see it. I see it.
Great car.
Need a dick.
It's supposed to get really cold tonight. Like I'm gonna kill myself. Don't even think about it, you sluts.
I think he liked the rocking shows more than he let on, though. I'm gonna be honest. He always liked saying he was a country dude. He was country and Grand Ole Opry. But I'm gonna tell you one of his last stories. I think I've told this before. Probably have. I've been streaming for years, so it's possible I told it a million times.
Oh, for God's sake, what's your problem? I'm really sorry.
Skid Row had put us in front. We went to this. They were doing these shows, and then they were doing after shows where they do like an acoustic thing. Well, Skid Row, and this is when Johnny Solinger was there, who's also died. I think he died of the same thing my father did. He was the singer then, and that's also the night they signed my shirt, and both of them. This is both of them now. This is that same night. I'm gonna tell this part. This is why I knew there was gonna be no Sebastian Bach rumor. I mean, because I seen it, I witnessed it firsthand. This is the same night my father talked about on his deathbed. I'll go ahead and finish that part, and maybe I won't forget this other part, because that's probably, I don't know if I've told this part before. I think I did when the box started in, and all the fans started trying to bully him into taking him, like just recently, when the girl was singing for him. I think I did tell y'all this, but I didn't ever tell you it was the same night. It was indeed. It was right after it. Maybe I should go ahead and tell that, because I've told my father a million times. Okay, they were doing some autographs and stuff there at the end, and my mama had a Skid Row shirt on, and she had Johnny Solinger sign it, and she told, was it the Snake in them? I don't remember. I'll have to ask her. But now Snake and Rachel was there, and she told Johnny, she said, "I want to let you know you're my favorite Skid Row singer." Well, Rachel Boland and Dave the Snake Sabo come over to my mama, and they whisper in her ear, and I heard it because I was sitting right there beside her. "He's our favorite singer too." Now, he's gone now. He's dead. He's on the other side. I love his country album. Girls That Swear. He's got a country album. Johnny Solinger. This is that same night that I was talking about my daddy. He brought this up on his deathbed, y'all. I think he liked the rock and roll shows more than he let on. Because our cousin come over, and he had to tell him that time that Skid Row put us up in front row there. He was honored by that. And he brought it up just a few hours. I mean, I'd say there's still some daylight. So 9, 10 hours before he died, maybe even 15. He brought that up about being honored by Skid Row, putting him in front row. That's the same night that Johnny was signing my mama's shirt. I don't remember if they signed it. I'll have to ask. But I know they come over and they petted her and they hugged her. And they said, "He's our favorite singer too." And I tell everybody, I say, they ain't going to work with him. Because I seen it firsthand. Now, if they do, eventually do, I don't think they will. I don't think they want to deal with him. People says we get a marriage counselor and all this stuff and work it out. I just don't think they want to go. And I don't even hate Bach. Indeed, I kind of don't. I want to be honest. He's a part of my childhood. He's probably what made me to be the badass that I am. You know, he would be he'd go like, "Fuck you!" He'd do stuff like that. "Motherfucker! Cocks!" He'd do all that. He'd jump off the stage and everything. But I think that's the same reason the Skid Row doesn't want anything to do with him. I mean, I'm telling you, he's probably the reason I made myself a badass. Because I was growing up watching that. Axl wasn't the only one I was watching. Indeed, they were my first CD I'd ever bought. Skid Row was the first CD I ever owned. Sebastian Bach probably influenced the bad me. You know, the one that cusses people out. You can thank Axl for the music. You can thank Axl for some of it. But Bach gets the other part. Because I really like Sebastian Bach. Well, fuck you! Part of me don't even want to see him change. Because he's probably what made that monster rock and roller in me. I make people don't like me either. I don't hate him for that. Because I make people not like me either. This is me on him. God bless him. Because I know how he feels. I get myself hated too, y'all. That's what hated's about. But then I made it about Satan too. Oh, Hated was that other song I was thinking of, by the way. Because it was influenced by all that junk too that I went through. Yeah, I'm hated. Well, I hate you. Really shouldn't hate him, but I'm dealing. God's dealing with that. Yeah, he's been dealing with that for the past few days. If you've been noticing my posting lately, that's what I'm talking about. God's been speaking to me, y'all. I'm hearing him. I want his blessing. I don't want his cursings. And I don't care what people says. You're not just blessed just for being his child. You're saved. That's salvation, y'all. That's the gift that's free. God's got one good gift he gives you free, and that's salvation. The rest of it, you got to earn. You reap and sow what you reap. If you reap badness, you will get. If you sow badness, you will get badness. If you sow cursings, you'll get cursings. The rest of it, you got to earn. You don't earn your salvation. That's like the guy on the cross that was beside him. It was the dirty dude that decided, and he told him because he believed in him, he'd be in paradise. You'll be in paradise. That don't mean you're going to have a. That don't mean you're going to have a. You go around making problems for people and being mean to people and all that. You're going to reap it, man. It don't matter whether you saved or not. I mean, you can even look at this beloved guy that he's going to reign on the throne with under his name, David. Boy, David got he murdered his best friend because he desired his woman. And he reaped. He reaped, man. He had a whole life of suffering. He had to watch his son hang by his hair. David paid, and God told him he was going to pay. Indeed, he even sent the preacher there to give him a parable. He gave him a parable, I believe, about certain people doing this and that. And David said, "Oh, how horrible. Let's deal with this person." And then, what was his name? Samuel. He said, "I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you. Are you going to deal with you?" And I'm paraphrasing here. I don't know the exact scriptures. But I'm just telling you what happened. I mean, he was literally describing this guy that was doing all this stuff. And David asked how horrible this person is. And then Samuel, I think it was the last time Samuel dealt with him. I think he didn't ever talk to him again or something like that. Or is that Saul? Maybe I got it backwards. It may be Saul. I may have Saul backwards. He did one of them that way. It might be Saul. Boy, I'm going off memory here. I believe it's Saul. King Saul. Well, anyway, it's King Saul. Or is it David? I'm going to have to get those scriptures out and read it. My brain's fuzzy here. Y'all know me, I'm bad with names. It was Saul or David? He told one of them. It was Samuel when he called him out. They didn't speak to him. Because that's the reason he tried to conjure him up. He wanted to talk to him. One of them they had this conversation with, and I've got it confused. I got to get Samuel 1 and 2 out and read them again. It's been a while, man. I got to get caught up. I got to get caught up because I can't remember. But I know what I'm talking about. I just don't remember which one I'm talking to. You can't go either way. You can't go through life treating people like garbage and think that's not going to blow back on you. Because, boy, it will. Now, one good thing I can say about it, anytime I have gotten nasty with people, it wasn't without cause. They did me nasty first. I just got back at them. But I got to stop that. That ain't good. God don't like that. He don't like that. You still ain't going to be justified. He don't say, boy, I done told you ain't supposed to do that. Be angry, sin not. I can't say that. I ain't going to have no excuse. He's told me that 3 times, and the last time it's like he got up at him. I'm talking about literally telling. He said, I done told you be angry, sin not. That's how he said it. Not going to have no excuse. And if you want blessing in this earthly life, you're going to have to be a blessing to others. Just saying, you ain't going to get blessing just for yourself. You ain't going to get blessing just for yourself. You're going to be a blessing to bless others. Most of them, that's what they want God for. They want him to be their personal little daddy. To give them everything they want.
Hey there, I'm hoping it's
And
gonna
he
be
ain't that, y'all.
hitting the beach. I hear you.
He's God. And they only want him when they want him. It's only when they need him is when he's around. When they want him around. Other than that, they don't want him. I still don't. Here's me. I don't want him driving my car. But he don't want to be the backseat driver. But I do talk to him every day. Oh, God, we don't want to run over the kitty. I hear a kitty. I don't want to run over. I love kitties, y'all. I'm a big fan of kitties. There he is. There he is.
Going out later? I want to get wasted.
I can go across this thing. Be hard, but I can get. Well, that taxi don't fit through it. Oh, I see one. There's the road. Make sure there ain't no kitties out this way. But you're going to reap what you sow. The Bible says that all throughout the. I don't know how these ignoramuses has changed it to I'm just blessed because I'm saved. Because that's what they do. And you're not. You're saved. You can go through life and reap hell and probably still be saved. If you believed in him and you really did love him, that's probably another thing. Because there's going to be those ones who. I have an opinion on that, and I don't think he's talking to real people. I think he's talking about some people that, what I was talking about a while ago. You know, they want God when he's around, when he gives good. They don't love God. They don't love God. They love what he can do for them. Let's put it that way. You know, there's people that uses people that way. They use God that way too. And I think that's who he's talking to about the ones who he said, I know you not. That's just my opinion. That's what I think. I think he's talking to those who only want him because they think he can do some good things for him. They can do some. I mean, they do people that way. They do God that way too, y'all. Like the guy that was casting out the devils. And the devils eventually told him, Paul, I know. Jesus, I know. You, I don't. I got that scripture right. Indeed, I've seen that scripture. Thing is, I seen they wasn't allowed to touch me.
Fuck no way.
But I knew it wasn't about me. Because I did. I had the Will Smith moment. Where he's kicking that big entity. He's like, yeah, man, he's celebrating. And I thought, oh, wait a minute. I better not celebrate too much. That's the way I went. Because it wasn't nothing I did. That was how I was. They went just like I told them in the name of Jesus. I'm glad it happened, though, because I can't say I was completely scared, but I was, sort of. Because I grew up not sleeping with the light. I still can't have my light on, but that's a different reason now. It's not fear.
Hi,
When I was a kid, I was afraid of the dark. That kind of cured me of that. Because I saw that devils had to do exactly what Jesus told them to. But at first, I was like, oh, yeah, man, they did it. And then I thought, well, wait a minute. There's that scripture in there about that demon that jumped on that guy. I can't get too happy because it wasn't my doing. It was Jesus. It was Jesus. It was Jesus. Best thing that ever happened to me. One person say, you saw? Oh my God. No, that's the best thing that ever happened to me. Because I saw the power that he had over devils. And God kind of knows this about me. He's kind of like the one he walked up to and asked to touch his scars. I have a little faith. I have to see to believe. Blessed are those that don't have to see to believe. Remember that. Blessed are those that don't have to see to believe. But I was one of them that had to see. Instead of showing wounds, he showed me devils. He let my mama see him, though, when I was praying for her. He let my mama see him. And I seen the black ones. I'm glad I seen them. I'm not afraid. I ain't got nothing to fear. Unless I go end up with them. And I don't think I'm going to end up with them. Because I finally got the gist of what went on there. It was years later I was asking. I was questioning about 3 months later I found out. I heard the tale of Anton LaVey. You know what? Since I'm bringing that up, I'm going to go tag the video onto my subject. Into the thing about Anton LaVey. Because that's the reason I seen the black things, y'all. I crossed him with a prayer I made. I don't want to go back. I'm ending. We need to take her to the house and get her some clothes on. Where's the garage? It's on the other side, I think. Yeah, it's on the other side. Yeah, it is. Here we go. On YouTube, I'm going to put it in the, when I get the video over on YouTube, I'm going to put the link in there. In the subject on YouTube, my archive page. And unfortunately, not all archives get there anymore. I used to actually, but I had to actually upload those and took a long time. And I had to convert the videos a certain way. I don't always get all of them up there anymore. Especially since I started streaming the Rumble. I'll make sure I get this one archived up there. Because I want to put the, because that's the reason I seen them. Am I going right? Did I go the wrong way? I'm not recognizing. I think it is. I think the sky just looks different. And it's night. Yeah, there it is. There's an eye. A UFO, but it's basically an eye. That's all the Eye of Horus. If you know anything about that stuff, the Eye of Horus, that's all the UFO is. It's the Eye of Horus. If you want to know what the fuck it is, it's an Eye of Horus. There's actually a big one out in space. It's a big one in space, the big Eye of Horus. It's gas. But it looks like a big old eye. Well, I love that car. It drives smooth. I think I'm making this her favorite car. You better not hit my car, you bitch.
Ah, qué buen coche.
Out of the way, fat ass.
Hey, remember me? It's Mama.
It's the same damn year, too, by the way. He's taking on that pastor. But I'm going to tell you, God had power over it. He did exactly what I told him. Hell, for all I know, he could still be, them demons could still be chasing. Because y'all know I traced some of this stuff down to the same kind of energy. That's why I started the spiritual warfare stuff. Because I realized it was bigger than just people. I like that outfit. We're going to go with this one. That's always one of my favorite outfits. Change of glasses. Put the marbles on. Let's give her some different shoes. So we put some boots on her. Get her the cowgirl boots. Which way do we go take our shower? Oh, there it is. This is the room I have trouble with. I guess I ain't gonna be able to do her shower. This is the room I have trouble with. She lost $600. Did I deposit her money in the bank? Let me see. No, I didn't. Put your money in the bank. Shawty, what you think? Put your money in the bank. By the way, as per yesterday on the Trent stream, my main event at the Spring Bow will be Funko Axel and Trent. Funko Axel. Funko Axel wanted Trent, so he's going to get it. We've made the referee of sleaze and the guy that's in charge has made the decision to let Trent and Funko Axel be the main event. I'll have to use the game that I've already got Axel made in. But he's going to represent Funko Axel. See if I can do the voice. Sometimes I feel like I'm beating the dead horse, but I don't know why you've been dragging me down. I like to think that our love was a tadpole. You may be I'm funny, but you see right now I keep smiling. I gave you some things never change. I love when he uses that voice to sing with. Never change. That's what inspired Funko Axel was the parts like when she said she was gonna like wreck my car, I didn't know what to do. Yeah. That one and Breakdown. I love those songs, man. Bad apples. One bad apple spoils the whole damn bunch. One bad apple. It's sort of like a Southern flavor, Axel. Like it's got a Southern flavor to him. I love that Axel. He did it on several songs. I also love that really scratchy Axel he is on that song on Chinese democracy. I won't be told anymore that I've been brought down in this stone. I love that Axel too. That one's really scratchier than most of his stuff. I don't know if he was having a bad day with his voice and it just recorded. Sometimes the kinks can make the best thing. Like Jimi Hendrix was good at that shit. Sometimes Jimi Hendrix was amazing at doing that stuff, like the glitches. It ended up being art. I won't be told anymore that I've been brought down in this storm that left so far out on the shore that I can't find my way back, my way anymore. Whoa, no, I won't be told anymore that I've been brought down in this storm. That song's a beautiful song, by the way. Left so far out on the shore that I can't find my way back, my way anymore. Whoa, no, whoa. I've been sort of doing that this week. Me and Guide's been talking. I found my way back to the shore. I'm going to have to remind myself because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to get in these situations. It's going to come again. It always does. Hate comes at you. I'm going to have to remember not to get, I'm not going to just take it. So that's what I've been praying with God for. I want to know the sin not way to deal with it. Because, see, it all depends on how you deal. It ain't about, oh, I just got to take it. You don't have to take it. This is the godly way to handle it. And there's the ungodly way to handle it. You can let them smack you. But you don't have to necessarily just let them smack you. You can do it the godly way. It doesn't get you or it brings shame on them. Bring shame on them. Dump the hot coal on them. But you can still dump the hot coal without necessarily just turning the cheek. You just don't be evil. Don't do anything evil. I changed it just a bit. Beware of the evil. You don't have to do anything evil. Just don't do anything evil. That's what the Bible tells you to do. Everything that's good. Just don't do evil. And you're covered. You're holy. You're holy if you do it holy wise. Because Jesus, I'm telling you, he just didn't always. I mean, people try to make it sound like, oh, he just overlooked everything. He flipped the freaking tables. I wouldn't just turn in the cheek. That's the godly thing to do. You're turning my house into a den of thieves. We're all kings and priests under the Lord. We're all kings and priests. We all sons of God. We all share. That don't mean somebody's ruling over you. He's the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Even some of the Gnostic texts paint him as that. Just listen to it. It's a different Jesus. It's a totally different Jesus. It's talking about growing with self, and you're one with everything. But where that's a salvation based through him. Those are the two differences with the Gospels. The different texts. And I'm glad I read the other side. Because I think there's a little bit of truth to both sides. Because you can get a little bit of that in the real scriptures. Like when what I have, I share with you. What my Father shared to me, I share with you. And we're all your brothers and sisters in Christ. You can find that in the Bible. I think there's a little bit of truth to all of it. And it's these cults and these leaders that don't want you to see that because they don't want you knowing the power that you have in Christ. They want to rule over you. They want to reign over you. And they don't want you to know what you can do. What you can do. I'll tell you one that gets it, Rodney gets it. He's always telling everybody, you don't need the pastor to do all this. He's trying to teach them how to do it themselves. He's also trying to teach them the way they do it. He said you can't go out here doing people all kinds of wrong and stuff. In order to be blessed, you got to be a blessing. That's what he's trying to teach you. And that's what I want, man. That's what I want. So I got to quit. I got to grow up. I got to quit being rock and roll me, and I got to try to grow up. It's going to be hard. This is going to be a struggle. I may be 75 and 80 by the time I get there. If I live that long. Because it's going to be a struggle, man. But that's what I've been doing this week. That's what I've been working on. I'll see y'all next. I want to grow up. I want to be. I don't really want to be a big rock star. I can't say I ever wanted that. I probably never wanted that. I just wanted to be a rock and roller.